Hey y'all, I'm here in Harris County, Georgia, and I'm headed to the city. Well, our nearest city, Columbus, Georgia, and I'm taking you with me. So, whether you're planning a move to the area or you're just curious about what's nearby, this video is for you. Let's get going. Hey y'all, and if it's your first time here, welcome to Cooking Up Real Estate. My name is Stacy Roberts, aka This Realtor Cooks, and I'm here to help you discover all things Harris County, Georgia. My son and I moved to this area just last year, so I'm going to be sharing with you firsthand what it's really like to move to the central western part of Georgia. And whether you're moving your family or your business, I'd love to help. You'll find all my contact information in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you'll always be in the loop of all things Harris County, Georgia. All right, now we have taken a little tour of the downtown of Columbus, this city with the big amenities and the small town charm that so many are attracted to, and we are lucky to have nearby here in Harris County. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the history of Columbus. We're going to talk about where it is in relation to Harris County. And we're also going to just talk some fun facts about the area and some pros and cons of living in or near Columbus, Georgia. So, where is Columbus? So, we are here in the central western part of the state. I'm going to pull the map up here. You can see here where Harris County is, and down here where Columbus, Georgia is. It is about 20 to 27 miles or 30 to 45 minutes in a car ride, depending on where you're coming from and where you're going in Harris County to Columbus. All right, let's talk a little bit about the history of Columbus, Georgia. So it was founded in the early part of the 1800s, right on the Chattahoochee River. And it was well known for trading, especially cottons, and it was also known for its textile mills. You'll see these mills around town that have been made into businesses. So you can imagine the very cute and cool industrial charm all the way through Columbus. Back in the day, it was actually known as one of the largest cities in Georgia, but now it is third largest, second to Atlanta and Augusta in the Richmond County part of the city. All right, as I love to do on the channel, let's get into some pros and cons. We'll be a little bit briefer than some of my other videos. You can check them out here, 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 and here. But we are going to just talk quick pros and cons here. So what is a great pro of living in Columbus, Georgia? Affordability. So especially compared to the larger cities like Atlanta, Georgia, you're looking at about a $415,000 median sales price in Atlanta to about a $215,000 sales price, median sales price in Columbus. So that's quite a stark difference. Another great pro of being in Columbus, Georgia is access to amenities. Now, depending on where you live now, that may not sound like that big of a deal, but if you are a Harris County resident, you do understand that that is a big deal. A lot of these small towns in Harris County do not have many amenities. You might have a small grocery store or a hardware store on a corner here and there, and a few cute and awesome restaurants. However, you're not going to have hospitals, you're not going to have big box stores or any other kind of retail shopping. And actually, even in some towns, there isn't even a small grocery store. So having access to those amenities is pretty awesome. A really big pro of being in or near Columbus, Georgia is all the recreation. So like I said at the beginning of the video, it is actually the third largest city in Georgia. So you could imagine that there are definitely going to be some things for all of that population to do. And Columbus is definitely not lacking in that. You're going to find things like the Civic Center, where the River Dragons hockey team plays. You're going to find the Springer Opera House, which you can go and watch orchestra or plays. You will find the downtown area, which you saw at the beginning of the video, with lots of awesome restaurants, and the Riverwalk, which is right down by the Chattahoochee River. We actually got to watch, I'm going to show you some footage here of the whitewater rafters going down the little rapid, and you can just sit and people watch, and it's super fun. And you can also participate in that. We weren't prepared for that day, but you can go whitewater rafting, you can go kayaking, all kinds of really fun recreation activities there. And the list goes on and on. Oh, and we have a new minor league baseball team called the Clingstones. So that stadium is also in downtown Columbus. So there's definitely not a lack of recreation. You've got city parks that you can go and visit, country club, golf course. I'm sure I am missing something that you may love to do, and I could probably guarantee you that it's there. So recreation is a definite plus in Columbus, Georgia. Another great thing Columbus offers is a fantastic military community. We are so lucky here in Harris County to have so many of those active duty military members living in our communities here, but the base itself is actually in Columbus, the base of Fort Benning. It was previously known as Fort Moore, so you might have heard it by both names. It's an Army base, and we just love having our military community here. It not only helps to support the local community, but it offers a lot of military members to either stay here or come back to this area to retire here, and a ton of veteran-owned businesses. So having the community here is such a blessing to the whole area. And if you have ever been one that served our country, thank you so much for your service, or you've known people that serve in the military, you know that the people in that community are just full of heart. And so having them come in, and they're go-getters, the wives, and I'm not saying this to toot my own horn, I promise, I say this very humbly, that you learn to be so self-sufficient as a military spouse. They bring such innovative ideas, so that's why you have a lot of great veteran-owned businesses in the area, not just the veterans themselves, but the veteran spouses that help to run those businesses. A lot of women in real estate were military spouses as well, because you can move with that job. It's not always easy. You might have to start a YouTube channel or something, but you can absolutely do that. We love that Columbus is home to Fort Benning, and it brings so many military members into our community. One last benefit or pro to mention about Columbus, Georgia are all of the job opportunities. I'm sure you could hear that when I was going through all of the amenities, all the opportunities that must exist here, from the medical industry to law offices to headquarters and everything in between. So if you live in Harris County, this may be where you're commuting to. And if you live in Columbus, it would be what is in your backyard. So many opportunities for work here in Columbus, Georgia. All right, with any place, there comes the cons with the pros. So let's talk a little bit about the downsides of living in or near Columbus, Georgia. So the first one is the traffic and the construction. So as we mentioned earlier in the video, there's a lot of growth happening here. So you will find that there might be some road closures or construction areas that you're going to have to maneuver around, either on your commute or as you're going around town. And then just more people, more problems, right? So you're going to find more traffic and just have to navigate the roads a little bit more. Now, I will say I came here from Atlanta, Georgia. So to me, it's nothing. If you're coming from the county, it could be something. But if you are used to any larger city traffic, it probably won't even faze you. But it is worth mentioning that you may have to deal with the headaches of high traffic in the area. One other thing worth mentioning, there are pockets of crime in Columbus, Georgia. So you don't have the same safety that you do inside Harris County. There are a ton of resources that you can use to look up the areas that might have higher crime rates and those that don't. Thanks so much for taking a trip to Columbus, Georgia with me today. I enjoyed it. I feel like, as a Harris County resident myself who's just lived here over a year now, I'm just scratching the surface of the area, and Columbus included. So if you are local or you visited the city before and you feel like I missed something, feel free to comment it below and let me know. And make sure you like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss any content on Harris County and the surrounding areas. I'll see you on the next video.